Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk about Apple and Amazon. They're both reporting their earnings this evening after the market close, and I don't know. Don't know what we're going to get from them. I think they're going to do well. But we'll see what happens. But let's take a look at the charts. Alright? Let's do a quick rundown too. Without further ado, we got to go. Alright, so taking a look at our charts here. That's Amazon. And we got a push up. We got a little bit of a pullback here to moving averages. Found some support at the 20 pre-market on the 2-minute chart. As you can see, we're going to open up above that $188 area today. We'll see how that works out. If we can maintain that. We got like a little gap up. You know how I am about these gap ups. So we open up here somewhere. We're going to have a little window open that we're going to have to come back and reconcile at some point. Kind of like we did down here, gap down, came back, reconciled it, and then headed back down again. Okay, now we got a little window here at 176.78. That's our low here. 178. So they got a $2 window here also. So we may come back and fill all that in. Alright, so careful with Amazon. Currently, we look like we're going to open up here and push up into earnings. And then once our earnings come out, we'll find out if we're going to sell off or continue to push through. That's Amazon. Let's see what Apple's got going for us. Apple's kind of flat in the pre-market, sitting at about $209. So it's not really doing much different than what it did yesterday. In fact, it probably looks more like an indecision bar than anything. If you look from here when we opened, pushed down, pushed up, now we're back down to where we opened at on yesterday's bar. Let's take a look and see how correct I am about that. Yesterday's bar opened at 209.30, so yeah, we're pretty much back neutral again on Apple, so they're not sure what they want to do about Apple right now. Alright, because right now it's still trading sideways. So that's interesting. That's interesting there on Apple. I think that it would still be trading sideways ahead of its earnings. So we do get a push up. We're going to probably push up into this area in here where we ran into some resistance at this $214 area. If it does well, maybe it'll push through, but it's going to run into some overhead resistance. Then we're going to be heading into the weekend. Today is Thursday, so we got one more day of trading. So we might get another good day of trading depending on how these two behemoths report this evening. Let's take a look at our majors. Bitcoin finally decided to put in a nice decent bar and push up a little bit higher, and still running into this resistance area from the past. So we'll have to see what happens with Bitcoin if it can continue to push higher. Next up is going to be our oil, and we're going to run through these real quick because we got to go, and we don't want to be here for 30-40 minutes. Alright, so oil continues to sell off, so drip, oil and drip. Next up is the E-mini, and E-mini still pushed up a little bit higher, retesting this overhead resistance. Got the trade winds coming in overhead also to added resistance. Then we got our Ethereum. Ethereum is trying to pop this morning. Morning pre-market, it hit about 1875, so it's trying to get up in here somewhere this morning. So we'll have to see what happens. Maybe Ethereum's ready to start running. Next up is gold. Gold continues to sell off. Look for some support in this area, and we'll see what happens. But right now, gold continues to sell. Next up is nat gas, and nat gas had a little bit of pause in here. It looked like it wanted to pull back, put in that nice little red bar there. It was looked like it was selling off. Caught some support here at the 200 moving exponential, and then this morning we got a nice little green fat doty trying to come in. We'll see what happens with that. If it's going to try to continue to push higher, or if it's going to continue to pull back. But right now we're trying to get this green to take out this red and go higher. Next up is the NASDAQ, and the NASDAQ starting to push higher. These guys are pausing in here, putting this bar right here, probably choked a lot of people out, and then took off. Now it's putting a nice little fat doji right now before the pre-market opens up, but we're going to open up above this $1,900 area. We'll see what happens. If we're going to continue to push higher into these trade winds, or we're going to pump and dump. Next up is silver, and silver is running. Oh, wait a minute, I lied. It's running to the downside. Silver looked like it was green yesterday or the day before. I'm going to have to go back and take a look at my... I could have swore silver was green and heading higher. But anyway, it's not right now. Right now it's looking kind of red and selling off. So keep an eye on silver. Silver's pulling back again. Next up is Dow. And the Dow's pushing up. Trying to get up above this 40,000 area. Pre-market has hit about 41,000, and trying to take on these trade winds. These trade winds are kind of starting to fall off a little bit, but they haven't rolled over yet. So so far so good on the Dow. Keep an eye on it. It's got a lot of overhead resistance coming in. Next up is corn. Corn looked like it was popping, and started to get that little red bar yesterday, like most of them all put that head fake in, and then it's starting to push higher again. So keep an eye on this. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're ready to go higher, because we do have this overhead resistance here on corn. Alright, so we need to get up above at least 500 to be safe that we're continuing to hit higher. But definitely look like it found some support and trying to go back up. I would have liked to have seen it bounce a little bit before taking off, but it kind of hit a little sell, little bounce. So we'll see what happens with corn, but I'll be careful with this one also. It's been acting a little bit weird lately, so it may just be trying to pull back, consolidate a little bit before heading higher. BMO, Bank of Montreal, is trying to push higher. Got some overhead resistance from 150-day moving average. Hasn't quite gotten underneath us to help push higher, but we do have our 200 and our 200s underneath acting as support. So we'll see how this particular bank works out. It's looking a little bit better than Bank of America. Then we got Webull. Webull continues to sell off, back down to where it started. So we'll see what happens with Webull. Maybe it's found its bottom. Shut that window for sure. Maybe it's found its bottom and ready to start heading back up. We'll see. Hit a high of $79.56. It did. So if you got lucky enough to get involved in that and catch that ride up, you probably got made a happy person. Cheesecake Factory had a nice pullback, put in a nice bar yesterday because everybody did the little sell thing and then bought it right back up. So we'll have to see what happens with cake. It needs to get above this $52 area. Next up is Calm. To go and it put in that gap down yesterday. Now in the pre-market it's got another gap up. So this thing is bouncing around a little bit. They're not quite sure what they want to do to handle this one. as we're heading into the new month. Next up is Canopy Growth. Canopy Growth was starting to roll up and head higher. We'll see what happens with that. Next up is Rocket Lab. Looks like it wants to push back higher today. It is 20. Found some support in this area around $21 or so. Actually hit about $20.73, but now it's at around, set to open up at around $22.63, so up in here somewhere. So still kind of safe in Rocket Lab. We're heading into this what I believe to be a new month of trading that may be a bit strenuous for us all. Well, not I won't say strenuous, but maybe some good trading opportunities heading into the new month on that particular one. But yeah, they're not looking too bad. Walmart's doing pretty good. It's still pushing up from back here, and got a nice little pullback to our 8 and 9 SMAs, which seems to be respecting the 8 and 9 and continuing to head higher. So that's Walmart. Not looking too bad. Got our waste management, big pullback, but then it just took it right back. Now it's trying to push higher again. Waste management, I mean, can you go wrong on waste management? Right? I mean, this thing should always just go higher. Yeah, if you ask me, because, you know what I mean? Waste management, right? 2.8 dividend on waste management, whatever that means, and definitely made money on its earnings, so they're not losing any money in waste management also. So, which, like I said, I don't see how. I paid $200 and something for my trash and stuff to get picked up. That's every other month, by the way, but still, to me it seems like a lot of money just to swing by and pick up the trash. But anyway, better than it piling up in the yard, right? Yeah, I think we're gonna call that it. It was one I looked at in the past, like our lithium trade, and our maybe I would do another energy video too. I saw a video on Sempra Energy. They got a nice big looked like it was dropping it into the Las Vegas area. Big, I forget what they called it. Big, I'm just gonna say battery pack for now, charging station or something, or some big component that they need for their power grid. For I believe they said it was going to Colorado or something like that, or whatever. But anyhow. So Sempra's still doing big things. Huge plane that was carrying it. It had some backup too, so which I didn't understand that, but maybe it was considered precious cargo. But we'll revisit our energy trade because so far a lot of those guys weren't doing too well, but our main ones were doing really well, like Centerpoint and EXE. But anyway, that's all I got for you this fine day. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and be careful out there. These markets are crazy.